What's up, everybody? It's Sam with Rowdy Alternative, and today we are with Rob Langdon. How you doing, man?
Going on, man? I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, brother. You've been staying busy out there. Where are you at?
Dude, I'm in Wedgwood, Houston right now, just outside of downtown. But yeah, I've
Okay,
been
right
staying as
on.
busy as I can.
Hell yeah. So, because I was wanted to do some research on you before this, and I couldn't find out where you were from or where you like came from. So I guess let's cover that first, just so we get some, some background.
Yeah, I
so,
like to keep it mysterious, low key, you know.
all right, well, let's solve that mystery, man. So, I guess let's start out from when you started. Where you from, and what was the music scene like where you were at, and all that.
Yeah, well, where I'm from Florida. I moved from a town called Wellington, Florida. I kind of lived in a lot of areas around there.
Mhm.
But as far as music goes, I started in Boone, North Carolina. My dad's from Boone. My whole family's from Boone. I went to Appalachian State University. Played baseball there.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, so there's Luke Combs coming through there, Eric Church. Um, but yeah, I mean, my whole life I was just real baseball focused, real sports focused specifically. I didn't pick baseball till later,
Oh,
but music was always just something that I did. But once I started realizing I wasn't going to be a big leaguer anymore, which is pretty early into my college career, I was like, damn, I want to do something cool. And I'd always loved music, and I had such a love for all kinds of music, and I started playing the bars around Boone, and yeah, just kept it going that way.
awesome. So going back to the baseball thing, because I'm a pretty big baseball fan.
Yeah.
So you said you started it late. Like what? How late?
Music late or baseball late?
You say, yeah. Did you say you started baseball later on in life, or the
No, I
music?
started.
Okay.
Yeah, music late. Yeah, I
I was gonna
started
say,
baseball day one.
I was about to say, baseball's not something you just pick up and then go to college for. I was a little
Yeah,
confused
no,
there.
no. Baseball was. I mean, my whole life was just sports. My dad was sports, sports, sports.
Right.
I didn't really do much of anything else, really. I mean, and if I did, I didn't care about it much because I was just thinking about sports.
Right on. So what was it about music that really caught you and made you want to get into that so much?
Man, music. I've tried to think about it. I've had this conversation with some of my friends, and it's just like an inexplicable feeling that you have when you go to live shows, or every time I went to a concert or anything. It's just this feeling that I had. It's just like, damn, like I want to do that. The way that music was making me feel and making everybody around me feel, it was just a feeling that I had that like I wanted to create that. I wanted to do that. I wanted to be on stage and bring other people what I had been feeling.
Right. So when did you realize you had a knack for like songwriting, or you wanted to get into original stuff? Because a lot of people like to play like the covers and stuff. And I
Yeah,
imagine that's a pretty big jump to want to start diving into originals.
yeah. Songwriting for me was tough, honestly. That was a hard road because at first, well, I learned guitar when I was probably in like middle school, elementary school. I had a couple of lessons, and then uh, like I said, baseball, sports just kind of took over. But I got the basics. You know,
Mm.
I got the three chords and the truth. I had it locked in, ready to go. But and it wasn't until I got to college that I just brought the guitar that I had, this little shit acoustic guitar that I had, and I had, like I said, I just had some feeling. I was like, I just want to learn this, and I learned probably every Eric Church song that ever came out,
Yeah.
every Randy Rogers song I'd ever heard. And then it was just I was the party trick at the apartment.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, Rob will play some fucking covers, you know,
Yeah,
and
man.
then yeah, but songwriting, I would sit there and try to write songs, and every song I wrote, I was like, damn, that sucks. That song
Mm.
sucks. So for a while, I was like, I don't know if I can really even do this. Uh, and then one day I wrote this song. It's called "Am I Crazy?" Uh, and looking back now, it's really not very good. But that was the first song I wrote that I was like, this is actually kind of good. And
Yeah.
from there, it just kind of kept snowballing, snowballing.
Yeah. So were you always like kind of on your own, or did you like to co-write at all? Did you have any mentors that helped you out in the beginning?
I was always on my own. In Boone, there's a guy named Adam Church, if you've heard of
Oh yeah.
him.
Hmm.
Adam's my guy. He's been my North Star, you know. I remember he was if you go to App, you know Adam Church.
Mm.
He played at every single bar all the time. Um, I don't know if you know about him and Luke Combs, but
Yeah.
we grew together when they were at App. And after I graduated from college, I wanted to play music, and I didn't really know how to do that.
Hmm.
How to get in even to do covers. So I just started asking bars, and everyone was kind of just like, "Yeah, whatever." Like
Yeah.
we're booked. So I went to this place called Woodlands Barbecue in Blowing Rock, North Carolina, and I was like, "Hey, can I play music?" And they were like, "No." So I was like, "Oh, damn. Well, also I need a job because I don't have any way to make money." They were like, "Yeah, sure." So they got me a job, and every day I was just kind of sprinkling it to the managers. I was like, "Hey, I'd love to play some music, love to
Yep.
play." And then it wasn't until Adam Church was there one day, and I was like, "Okay, here's my chance. I'm going to talk to Adam." And Adam, just being the nicest guy of all time, he was like, "Dude, come hang out at the truck. We'll play some tunes."
Yeah.
And dude, they let me off early. Me and Adam hung out by his truck outside of Woodlands for like 2 hours. And then ever since then, man, Adam's just been my guy. Songwriting, just helping me out with everything.
Right. So do you co-write a lot now? Or do anything like that, or are you just still kind of more on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I co-write some. I have a guy, Davis Danziger, that I collaborate a lot with. Um, but you know, when you first move to town, you know, you really have no idea what's going on. You
Right.
just kind of come.
Yeah.
And I came, and from what I heard, is like, hey, you got to meet people. Let's start writing. And I was writing with people, and then I would really never see them again. And then every song I'd play at the writers' rounds was just kind of a song that I wrote on my own.
Mhm.
So then I was like, well, maybe I'll just carry on my own for a while until I meet some people that I really collaborate well with.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of happened naturally.
Yeah. It feels like that's something you can't really force. Kind of have to like fall into it a bit.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, you hear about the speed dating and
Yeah.
writing when you move to Nashville for the first time, and it's real.
Hmm.
You know, you're getting thrown around. You're at Red Door, fucked
I
up.
hear
And
that's like the
it's
place you
like,
go is Red Door. That's like where you
yeah,
go to really meet people.
yeah, exactly. That's when you really meet people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been there a couple times with like Nick and Matt before, and
Oh yeah,
it's not like any bar where I'm from because I'm not from Nashville. So I go take a visit, and they're
yeah.
like, "What the hell are they called? Are they like something shots? It's like something wacky."
Root beer
It's like,
float shots.
yeah, and I'm like, "It's the best thing I think I've ever had."
Oh, it's
But
great,
it was like
great.
insane. It was insane. Fun
Just
bar.
pure sugar. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, the next morning didn't feel too good, especially when
Oh
I had
yeah,
a
no,
4-hour drive back home. But
yeah, absolutely. Where are you at?
I live right outside Cincinnati, so 4
Cool.
hours north. Yep. But but yeah, speaking of Nashville though, when you did move to town, this is like my favorite thing to ask artists because to me, as someone who's not a musician, it's just it seems like a huge decision and a hard decision to make. What was it seems like you kind of have to like just kind of go for it. Like what was the process in your mind when you went for it?
Yeah, you do really just have to go like balls to the wall.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, well, I was in Florida.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on being there very long. Like I said, I was doing music in North Carolina, and I had some old baseball injuries that I had to get taken care of. So I went home, got some surgeries. Uh, then I blinked, and it was 3 years later, and I was working a cabinet job installing cabinets.
Yeah.
Um, and through COVID, I was doing that, and I'd started writing songs on my own in my room. And you want to get there. You know you want to do it. It's just that making yourself do it. It's a scary, risky thing to do.
Yeah.
Um, but you just have to really just just fucking go for it. Go balls to the wall. Can I curse on here? Is that cool?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, you're good.
All right, my bad, dude. Yeah.
No, you're fine. But
But yeah, you just got to go for it. And it wasn't until I was just like, fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm going to
Mhm.
Nashville. And, my one friend that I knew here, he said, when you get out here, you're going to wish that you got here a lot quicker than you did. And he was dead
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Wow. Because I get that from Nick all the times. Like, when are you going to move out here to help us like do it like not remotely? It's like
Yeah.
whenever I stop being a pussy, I guess. I don't know. Like honestly, but
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what everyone says too. They're like, "You're just being a bitch." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, honestly, I guess I am."
for real. But that's awesome, man. I'm glad you made the jump and you made the risk to go there. How would you? When I first listened to your stuff, what really stood out to me is that it's there's like a it's like a cool sounding style in the sense of like it's like has a hint of the rock like grungy kind of thing that's popping like really big right now, especially because at first I was like, is he from Texas? Because a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
sounds like the Texas kind of stuff that's going on right now. And then you have, of course, you have like the country influence in it too. How would you describe your style and the kind of music that you play?
Man, I mean, it's definitely all over the place for sure.
Hmm.
I've kind of always just said it's hard for me to write a song in a specific genre. I
Hmm.
always just feel like it comes out the way it comes out.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I guess I would say I mean, a little bit too rock for country, maybe too country for rock.
Right.
Um,
It's
I
not
mean,
a
my
bad place to
influences
be
are
though.
kind of all over.
Yeah. Yeah. Is so in Nashville then, around town, do you see a lot of that kind of stuff? Or is it still mostly the songwriter country kind of stuff that it's you always been, or what do you think?
Dude, you kind of got a little bit of everything these days. I think
Hmm.
country music is in the coolest spot it's ever been in right now.
Yeah.
And being in Nashville, you see all of it. Um, I feel like other genres of music, they once they change for good. And
Yep.
country music, it never changes, it just branches off. So
Yeah.
like you can still find that old classic like Charlie Crockett's
Hmm.
if you want, or
Yep.
you can find the more rock guys there, or the Zach Tops, like the '90s
Hmm.
country. Like it just branches off, so you can always find it. So it really is cool. It's kind of hard when you're playing the writers' rounds to see because everything's acoustic.
Yeah.
Um, it was tough, like when I was playing my songs, at Raise Rowdy or Outside the Round or whatever. It was always like I didn't have any music out, and I knew
Yep.
what I wanted it to sound like, so I didn't know if like it was coming across to the people listening how I was hearing it in my head.
Yeah. With it just being acoustic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, are you able to do a lot of full band shows out there? I know. Aren't you? You're touring with, or you were opening for Old 60, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm torn. I'm on tour with them right now,
Tell me
doing some
about that. How's
shows.
that going?
Dude, it's fucking awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, I had only had a few live shows ever in my life
Hmm.
before going out with them. And those guys are just, I mean, they're the best guys on earth.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the nicest guys, the most open to, help, and just, they just want to hang out too.
Yeah.
Um,
They're younger
but
too. They're still pretty green to it, I'd imagine.
yeah, yeah, we're all learning as we go,
Hmm.
together, which is cool. Yeah, they're opening up for Zach Bryan this weekend too in
Man,
Atlanta.
you want to talk about a band who pops? Because like I think just a couple months ago they played like their first live like round at I think it was at a Rage Rowdy event.
Yeah, at
If I
Winners.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at Winners, and now they're playing with Zach. Like that's crazy to me. I don't know.
man, it's cool. It's cool because I saw them at that Raise Rowdy. That was actually the night I met them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was there, and to see them go from that to them on stage now, I mean, it's they fucking kill it. I mean,
Yeah. That
I don't have enough good words to say about those guys.
yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, how would you describe your live show then?
My live show,
Hmm.
man, it's I kind of like black out when I'm up there. It's the most fun a person can possibly have. I feel like when I'm on
Hmm.
stage, it's a lot of head banging. Definitely.
Good.
I mean, I
Love
just
that
got back
shit.
from three shows this past weekend, and my neck is a little sore. Yeah. But yeah, I just try to keep the energy up as much as possible. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's you go in as an opener, people don't really know who you are, so you're
Right.
really just trying to make an impression, a lasting impression.
Right. And I here's another question I like to ask. I can never phrase it right without it being confusing, but bear with me. Do you put like what amount of thought do you put into like planning out your show, like your live, what you're going to do on stage, stuff like that? Or like you just said, you usually just black out. So that might be your answer right there. But
Yeah.
what kind of thought do you put into it?
When I first started doing like this tour, I was really like thinking, I was like, all right, what am I gonna say? When am I gonna say it? Like what songs is gonna blend together? And then I quickly realized after the first show that I'm just not a guy who can plan.
Right.
I'm just gonna say whatever when I think it and when I feel like it's a good time to say it and how
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. Um, but the idea of planning it at first was a real good idea. But
Yeah,
luckily,
man.
I got a good group of guys, really really talented, some of the most talented musicians I've ever met that play with me, and we've really worked together to build a badass show, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, let's talk a bit about them, man. How'd you meet up with your band?
Yeah, so first guy I met was Nate, my guitar player, um, and his girlfriend went to App State. So I didn't know her at App, but I met her when I came to Nashville. She introduced me to Nate. Nate was always like, "Man, I'm a guitar player. Like, I'd love to play." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't have a band. I also don't have any songs out, but eventually, yeah, hell yeah."
Yeah.
So when I started doing live shows, he was my first call, and I was like, "Hey, dude, like, I also need the rest of my band." And he was like, "Dude, don't worry about it. I got you." So he introduced me to Joey, another guitar player, Ryan on bass, and Evan on the drums. And I mean, dude, I couldn't have lucked out anymore. They're just four of the most badass musicians.
Yeah. That's great. And you guys jailed pretty quick, I assume. Jailed together, made some good
Yeah,
shit.
it seemed almost oh shit, seemed
You're
almost
good.
like pretty immediate.
Hmm.
I mean, we had a couple rehearsals, and yeah, I mean, we all got along so good.
That's awesome. And it's good to hear that it translates well to the live show too. And so I guess you hit on it a bit, but like you said, you're touring with Old 60 and everything, which is fucking crazy. And so how's it going? I guess is it everything you thought it'd be, or is it going smooth? I know sometimes that could be rough.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, they make it super easy. Yeah,
Hmm.
we got a little church van that we pile into, remove a couple seats,
Yeah.
throw everything in the back. It's all part of it. It's all part of the
Hmm.
journey. The shitty hotels, shitty food, whatever. I mean, I'm enjoying every second of it.
That's awesome. And like I feel like I don't know if you've heard of Austin Mead,
Yeah,
but yep, I've gotten to know him over the past few years and the guys in his band, and seeing them because you mentioned like the whole church fan and everything, seeing them go from that to Sprinter van, and now they finally have like a bus and everything, and it's good to see it at least from my standpoint watching them. It seems like it gets easier and easier, and it also seems that like it happens quick, kind of like at least from what I think, and I don't know if artists even realize how much they're moving up the mountain until like someone will say something to them, and then they're like, "Oh shit, you know what? We're doing the damn thing." Like,
yeah.
have you had any of those? I know like you're kind of still you're up and coming still, but have you ever had any of those like oh shit moments along the way yet?
I mean, yeah, like the first show I played with Old 60, um, someone asked for my autograph. I was like, "Oh fuck, for real?" Yeah, sure. Yeah, like anytime someone asks to take a picture with you, you kind of, which doesn't happen very often, but after the shows and everything, that's a little bit of a realization there. And then even just things like this, because
Hmm.
like you said, you don't really realize, what's going on behind the scenes.
Yep.
And then, y'all hit me up to do a podcast. Like, yeah, I've
Yeah.
never done a podcast before. That's sick.
Oh hell yeah. There we go. It's your first one with my
Thank you.
dumb ass. But hell yeah, man, that's awesome. Let's talk a bit about your music though. What your latest single came out in July, Tattoos, right? Just
Yeah.
want to make sure I got all right, cool. And loved it. First off, I loved
Thank
it.
you.
It sounds really cool sound. I can't wait for you to put more stuff out too, but we could get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
So I guess what does the song mean to you? I obviously like the lyrics, like I realized what it's about in the lyrics, but like, is there a certain story behind it or a certain meaning to you in the song?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, there's a very specific story. I'll spare you a lot of the details,
Okay.
you know. But usually on stage, I just say it's about a girl that I don't know anymore.
Okay.
But um, you know that I wrote that one with my friend Davis I was mentioning
Hmm.
earlier, and you know I feel like with a lot of my songs, you know, I don't really talk about my feelings a lot or things that happen.
Hmm.
So when I write songs, I feel like it just kind of comes out.
Yeah.
Um, and in this instance, I was pretty angry about a situation that wasn't even recent,
Right.
but just tapping into it and starting thinking about it again. Uh,
Give me a pencil and paper. I got to write
yeah,
this
yeah,
shit down.
exactly, exactly.
So it's songwriting to you. It's therapeutic then. Like, is it come out pretty easy, or do you have to ever have to sit there and like think and think about, man, I got to write a song today? How's that method work with you?
Man, sometimes it comes easy, sometimes it doesn't.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, tattoos. We probably strung that one together. I mean, in half hour or an hour.
Okay.
That was an easy one. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks. I'm more of a guy that if I'm sitting down and I'm writing, if it's not coming out, I'll set it aside and go do something else because I don't want to force anything.
Yeah. Don't want to do that. Right on. So, who and where do you record with? How do you get that all done?
I recorded with Grady Saxman over at
Okay.
Saxman Studios. He's the
Hmm.
man. Yeah, Grady's been awesome. Um, yeah, I got hooked up with him through Davis and my boy Wales Tony.
Okay.
They know him pretty well. He's a sponsor on the Raise Rowdy and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, Grady's awesome. I mean, he's also very incredibly musically talented, and
Hmm.
he's so good with working with the artists and you know every piece by piece, building the song with you. You can tell he takes a lot of pride in that.
Yeah. Is it as an artist and as it being your song, is that hard to kind of, hand the controls over it all ever? Or like, you tend to work pretty good and vice versa with each other in the
Yeah,
studio?
well, I think what's something that's great about Grady is he's constantly checking in with you.
Hmm.
And you got your microphone when they're tracking, you got your microphone there. If you have notes, no one in there is going to get offended or anything with any notes you have. I mean, because that's a producer. Obviously, they want to put out the best product, but it's also your song too.
Yep.
And what you have if you have a vision for it. Um, and then also as the artist too, I think it's important when you have someone as talented as Grady too to kind of hear him out
Yep.
and like his crazy talented musicians that they have in the studio, hear them out, see what they want to do too, and then kind of just gel like that. And I think in the studio we have a good thing going.
That's awesome. Have you ever heard of? Well, I assume you know who Rick Rubin is.
Yeah,
The have you?
the
This is
guru.
completely random, but I just heard today that like apparently like he doesn't have any musical experience. Like he doesn't play an instrument or
Dude, I
anything
heard
like
that.
that.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
like and he's regarded as like one of the best, producers of all time.
Yeah,
Which I mean, if you look at his catalog, I mean, fuck, man, like
yeah,
he's done shit with everybody.
dude. If you got
But
it, you got it. You
yeah,
know,
I guess if you have an ear for it, man, like I
that's it.
guess. And it's like and that's like the crazy thing. Producers and people like that, like behind the scenes are like a mystery to me, man. I don't know how they do it. It just as much as an artist is. Cause
Yeah, no, it is for sure.
like because it says something where you got a producer like Grady or like Taylor Kimball who's done like pretty
Yeah,
much everyone in Texas by now.
right,
It
right.
just like it's saying something, I think, when they just churn out all these bangers and hits and everything.
Exactly.
You
Dude,
know,
not to mention the computer work.
yeah, like
I mean,
We couldn't
they're
even
on
figure
the
this damn echo thing out.
dude, I can't figure it out. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. They're moving that shit up and down so quick. I can't even register what's going on.
Do you play with your live band in the studio too, or was there a different studio band? Like, what's your experience with that?
No, yeah. So Grady's got his studio guys that he works with.
Okay.
Um, I mean, one day that is something that I would really like to do.
Mhm.
Is and the guys in my band, they play for other people too.
Yeah.
But that is something we were actually just talking about that in the van. That is something that I would love to do is get together with the band and build the song. Because before when I met them, I had never released a song.
Yeah.
So we played our first live show. I'd never released a song before, and all I had were work tapes. I had no demos.
Hmm.
So we built like 8 of my songs together, and it was so fun. I loved it. So that is definitely something down the line that I really want to do.
Right. So let's talk a bit about the community in Nashville, because just hearing you talk about all these guys that you've gotten close with, and musicians or not, um, and I feel like I have kind of like I have an outsider view of it because obviously I'm not down there all the time. How would you describe the community down there? Like, is it really like a lot of people say it's like a small big town, or a small town in a big town kind of feel? Like, how would you
Absolutely.
describe it?
Absolutely a small, big town. You know, word gets around, people talk for sure, but everyone I've met, I mean, has been, ultra helpful, ultra nice. Before you move here, you hear Nashville, everyone's trying to sing, everyone's trying to do the same thing. You don't know what you're kind of getting into. You don't know if it's going to be a hostile environment. You hear
Hmm.
about like LA bullshit,
Yeah.
like, people like run you under the bus or whatever. And it's not like that here at all. Everyone's
Okay.
down to help. I mean, when I first moved here, there were guys like Brian Fuller, for instance, who's a great songwriter. And I just moved here. I never wrote a song with anybody before. He's like, dude, let's write a song together. Help me
Wow.
out, and just, yeah, I mean, everyone's so helpful. Matt Burrell and Nikki T, those guys, it's like, hey,
Yep.
I've never played around before. They're like, fuck it, let's get you on around. You
Yeah.
know, it's everyone wants to help,
Yeah.
which is I didn't know if I was expecting that or not, but
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely the biggest shock to me when I went there for the first time, just to kind of like, it was at one of the events that we were hosting. And like all those artists packed into one room, I was just like, man, I wonder if there's going to be like an ego thing going on. I didn't really know what to expect, but no, everyone's buying drinks for each other, cheering at the front of the
yeah,
stage. It's like, this is like refreshing to know that it was like that. Cause I've always heard like the stigma about Nashville. Cause I know a lot of Texas guys, and there's
yeah,
that
yeah,
little rivalry bullshit that tends to go on sometimes. And I didn't know what
yeah.
to expect. And it was very nice to see how well everyone treats each other.
Yeah, it seems the lines with the Texas Nashville thing are kind of getting more blurred as time goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a
But
relief to see.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Because I mean, I love all the music coming out of Texas. I
Mhm.
always have, and I also love the shit that comes out of Nashville too. I mean, being from Florida, North Carolina, kind of adjacent, that I got to see both unbiasedly. So to
Yeah.
see them both coming together now is cool.
Yeah, and like also like the Kentucky guys, and like
Oh yeah,
everywhere, like Georgia, Alabama, like it's cool to see those lines get blurred, because then you get cooler music come out of it because more people want to work with each other and create some new
exactly,
shit. And
exactly. I mean, everybody's journey is different too in
mhm.
Nashville. I mean, I've heard people get jaded with certain things here and there, but everybody's journey is different. Like
Yeah.
someone might sign something here or get an opportunity here, but all you can do is just be happy for them and do your own thing. You just want it to inspire you to make more and do the best you can.
Yeah, man. So is there anyone off the top of your head that you really would like to work with in the future?
Oh man, bunch of people.
That's a very open-ended question, I know.
Yeah, a bunch of people. I mean, a guy musically that I do really look up to is Co Wetzel. I love Co Wetzel.
Hmm.
Giovanni, Hired Guns.
Yeah.
Those guys are all awesome. Kimball guys, like
Hmm.
you're saying. Um, Also, I mean, I love bands, a lot of indie rock bands, like Rainbow Kitten Surprise.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
Nice.
them. I always said if I ever get to do a CMT Crossroads one day, I want to do it with Rainbow Kitten
Wow,
because
I would expect
they're
that. That's
badass.
awesome, man. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I mean, really, I kind of want to make like some weird shit.
Yeah.
So blending different kinds of things, like a rainbow kitten with like a person like me or Co or whatever, I think would just be really cool.
Is if there was another genre, and obviously genres don't matter anymore, which is a good thing. But
Yeah,
if there was any other genre that you'd want to dive into for like an album or like a concept album or something, what would it be?
man, get me thinking over here. Uh, dude, I really, I mean, I know people say this, but I really love all music.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone kind of says like, screamo is really not my thing. I love screamo. I love rap music. I love everything from Keith Whitley, George Strait to Young Dolph,
Yeah.
Code, Rolling Stones to Rainbow Kitten. Um, damn, what was the question again?
Just like if there was like another genre that you would want to dive into for like one album or something, what would it be?
I think I would love to do a real classic country album.
Okay. Like
Uh,
Charlie Crockett kind of like Western sounding deal or
yeah, maybe some of that, but more like a Keith Whitley
Mhm.
style. Um, like I grew up big time on the Highwaymen. My dad
Oh
loved
yeah.
loved all the Highwaymen.
Yeah.
Johnny Whalen and Willie and Chris Christopherson,
Mhm.
all of them. So I grew up like that, but uh, so I have that country love,
Yeah.
in me. And then from my mom's side, I really got more of the rock, and my dad liked the rock too, Southern rock with Skinner and everybody. Um, but yeah, a country album would be sick. I would love to do that,
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
or a
Um
reggae album. That'd be badass.
there you go. Or do like some like sublime kind of shit like or
Yeah,
ska or something.
yeah. Have you heard of a stick figure?
What are they?
Stick figure.
Stick figure. What do they sing? Cuz they definitely popped up on my phone.
They got like a Fire on the Horizon.
I
They
think
do a
that
lot of
might
collabs with a lot of reggae guys too. They're one of
okay.
my favorite reggae bands.
Okay. I'll have to dive into them, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'll send you a playlist.
Oh, please do. I would love to. I would love to
My
hear it.
good vibes playlist.
Oh yeah, nice. I need some of those over here. But
Yeah,
um well, let's talk about what you got coming down the pipe, man. Any new music? What do we got to look forward to?
yeah, dude. I got some more singles coming out. We don't have any dates yet, but I got a couple songs. One's ready to go. It's recorded, it's mastered, it's ready to go. Just trying to figure out how to get it out there. Best way to get it out there. Couple more kind of deciding on whether we want to do an EP or just keep releasing singles for now.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I got a handful more dates on this old 60 tour. Um, so if you want to get a preview of those, I'm playing them there.
Nice. That the whole marketing thing, or I guess just well, first off, the single EP album thing nowadays, it seems like that's a constant battle for artists who like would love to put an album out, but like the singles get more traction, kind of like that. Is that something you're always kind of battling with deciding on what to do?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, as great as it sounds to just release an album or release an EP, um, it is kind of better to just do the singles at a time, especially when
Hmm.
people just to get your name out there, and,
Yep.
and spread out your your marketing.
Hmm.
Um, but if you have a good song, it's a good song, and a good song will free up to do kind of whatever you want.
Yeah, and along with like the marketing stuff and like getting word around, it seems like you're doing like you're pretty quality with your clips and everything on like Instagram. I saw. I kind of it looks like you're doing all right with that. Is that something that was hard to get used to? Like, do you do the TikToks, all that you need to just? It's kind of like a thing you need to do nowadays. I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah, it's definitely something you need to do. I mean, I would love if it didn't exist,
Yeah.
but but yeah, I mean, I have a great group of guys around me, super talented videographers that just happen to be some of my best friends too.
Mhm.
Um, they always got a camera out. It's yeah, uncomfortable kind of getting used to the camera being in your face. It's a weird thing. I'm not sure I'm quite used to it yet. And then posting it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's probably the worst part is clicking that publish or post button.
I know, yeah, exactly. But yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it, and it's a way for people to hear you that wouldn't
Hmm.
otherwise hear you. I mean, as much as I'd love to talk shit about TikTok, social media, but you can't really because it's given music so much.
Yeah.
Guys and girls that you would never have heard of, giving people a platform to show music, and we've gotten so many good artists out of it.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It's a good thing, and it's I hate to say, I don't want to sound like that old man like waving his fist, but it's like you got to have like you have the great artists that come out of it, and then like I feel like it also is it could damage like an artist like if they go viral, like super viral or something, and it kind of like throws them to the wolves. Kind of is that true? Like just right into the
Yeah,
public
I
eye like
mean,
that.
yeah, I've thought about it. Uh, I mean, it'd be tough if you were just playing in your room by yourself, and then you get millions of
Festival
views, and
date.
then yeah, it's like next week you're playing Faster Horses in front of Zach Bryan. You're like, oh fuck, I hope I can do
Right.
good. Never played with a band before. Yeah,
Right,
but
man.
some people rise to the occasion, like
Hmm.
Bailey Zimmerman really rose to the occasion. He's fucking killing it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm loving what the country music and the Nashville scene really right now is. I feel like I personally I've been trying to get more in tune with what's all going on out there, especially because like fucking Rage Rowdy's based out of it, and I found
Right.
myself clueless to what's even going on out of it because I was all
Dude,
focused on the red
they got
dirt
so much
Texas.
fucking going on. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know how
know.
they do it. Dude,
That's why I like.
I asked Burrell to come to a show, and he whipped out his calendar. I had a fucking brain aneurysm looking at his calendar. It was all the different colors.
Dude, it's
It's so big.
insane. They went to like 9 festivals this year.
Dude,
It's
the
like holy
hardest
shit.
working guys in Nashville are those two right there.
It's insane, man. But yeah, it's I love getting to know it and getting to know guys like you, gals like you, who are really pushing the scene out there, man, putting out really good music. And I
Thanks, buddy.
appreciate you hopping on, Rob. I really do. It
Of
was a
course,
good
dude. Thanks for having me.
conversation. Of course, man. And I know you said or you want to throw out a few dates. I know you said you're on with Old 60 and everything, just so people might some upcoming dates people might
Oh
want to
yeah,
catch you at.
let me pull these up. I don't have them off the top of my head.
I need to start doing what Baril does, and he just pulls his phone out on these
Yeah,
podcasts and just reads them off himself.
yeah. So the next ones I got at the end of the month. I'm gonna be in there we go, Fayetteville, Arkansas on the 22nd, Manhattan, Kansas, 23rd, Wapapello, Missouri, 24th, and then in October got Wilmington, North Carolina, October 19th. That's with Fox and Veed, who's badass in Old
Oh
60.
yeah.
Then headed to Sanford, Florida. That's my first show actually in Florida, ever,
Oh wow.
really.
Really?
That'll be cool. That's the 24th. Then going to Statesboro, Georgia, 25th, and Milledgeville, Georgia, on the 26th,
Right on.
October.
Yeah. Awesome. Are you going to be playing that round in September at losers
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we were
yeah. And
talking
then I
about? All
got
right. Cool.
the Raise Rowdy,
Yeah.
September 11th.
Yeah, I should probably actually promote that because they let me put together a round and yeah, Rob's on it. We got a lot of other guys. Tristan Tritt's going to be on it.
Sick.
Austin Upchurch from out in Texas.
Hell yeah.
Grayson Russell, who you might know around town. Grayson Russell.
No, I haven't met him.
Okay, well he's going to be there. Reed Barton. We're going to get some more guys too, so that's going to be a fun one too.
Hell
And
yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah, dude, I'm pumped for it. I love doing those loser shows.
Yeah, full band too, so it's going to be rocking.
Hell yeah, get it loud as fuck in there. Love
yeah,
it.
dude, we need to. But all right, Rob Langdon, thank you for popping on, and thanks everyone for listening. Also, do you have any socials? Any socials you want to throw out? People can follow you on?
You can find me at Rob Langdon Music on Instagram and TikTok. That's all I got.
Hell yeah! And
guy.
awesome.
X.
But X, yeah. Elon bought it now. It's X.
Sorry.
But also everyone follow Ray's Rowdy Alternative. Google us. We're on everything, all the socials, all that fun stuff. So everyone, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hell yeah.